Hi everyone. I'm going to do a quick video on how to create a roof in ContractVille. Now I'm assuming that you have a house built to the state that you want to add the roof, and you've also got your scaffolding. You're going to need enough scaffolding to at least be able to stand on the roof. Now, to prepare, I went to the hardware store and I'm going to build a hip roof. There's two different types of roofs that you can build, a hip roof and a gable end roof. So you're going to need a roof builder. And depending on the type of roof that you're going to build, either a gable roof builder or you're going to need a hip roof builder. Either way, you're also going to need tiles. Now, if you did a gable roof, you're also going to need one of these gable roof ends. And what this is for, a gable roof has a triangle in the front and in the back, basically. And basically, these are going to fill those two voids. The tiles, of course, go on the flat parts of the roof. And I said, again, a hip roof is different than a gable roof. I'm going to build a hip roof in this example. In fact, I'm going to build two hip roofs and connect them together because that'll show you a little bit better how the tools work. So I've already purchased that. And in addition, you could buy other accessories. Like I purchased a chimney and I purchased a roof window. And those are all just for aesthetic reasons. They have really no function in the game. But I bought them. They're going to add value to the house and they're also going to make it look better aesthetically. So the first thing you want to do, again, you've got the roof already, you got the building all ready to the point where you want to build the roof. So we'll go in the back here, and the first thing I'm going to use is the hip roof builder. Okay. Now you got to hold this. You go to the top of the roof. I'll show you how to do the first part of the roof here. Now, my building is shaped like a T. So I'm going to have one roof on this side, and then I'm going to have another roof on the other side. So the first thing you want to do is go to one of the corners. It could be the front or the back. It really doesn't matter. Press R when you're targeting the roof. Put it in the corner. Click the left mouse button once. Okay. Now you want to go to the opposing corner and click left mouse button again. That'll place this roof. Now, you'll notice that basically it has four sides and it comes to a point. I'm going to change the way that looks, and you can do that with the shift key to push the front out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand approximately even with where the other roof's going to go. I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm moving the scroll wheel until I get right about here. Okay, that's going to add your ridge. Then I'm going to go to the opposite end. Okay. Now to move this end, you hold the control key and you use the scroll wheel. Okay. So I get that the way I want it to look. All right. Now I'm going to go stand over here just so I can see everything. That's the height of the roof. You'll see the 100. I'll move the scroll wheel without using shift or control, and it increases the height. Now I'm at 175. There's my ridge. I like that. So we're going to remember the number 175. So we like the way that looks. Okay. So now we're going to confirm it by hitting the R key. Okay. You'll notice that this shows just the ridge posts. Okay. And then your rafters, structural rafters that show you where the roof's going to go. It's still incomplete at this point. What you want to do with the roof builder still equipped is go over here and I press the E key once. What that did is it built my rafters in there and it shows me a little bit more of the structure of what it's going to look like. Okay, I could still walk, but it's still not done. Now you come over here and you target these beams and press E again. That adds the sheathing. Okay, so for this roof here, we're basically done to the point that we have to add tiles on it. However, I'm going to make another roof connected to this roof. So your roof builder, again, so you know, could build more than one roof. It's not a one-time use thing. It costs $17,000, but you can build multiple roofs with it. So I press R again. I'll go in this corner, okay, and then I'm going to drag the other corner over here, right? I'll press the left mouse button once again. Now I got both corners down, and I'm going to hold the shift key, and you're like, oh no, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like I don't want it to go that way. Well, you could hit the Q key, and it'll rotate it. So now I'm going to push that side back with the Q key. I'm going to hold control, and I'm going to push this towards the other roof. Now watch what happens when it gets to the other roof. It'll snap. Boom. Okay, so now it did exactly what I want to do. However, I want to raise the height. Now remember, we have 100 here. We want to go to 175 to match the height of the other roof. You don't have to do this, okay, but to me it looks better. So now, as you can see, that one goes right up to the peak of the other one, and we're snapped to it. So we got two roofs, okay. Now we're going to approve that with the R key. Boom. There we go. All right. Target it. Press the E key. There's your beams. Okay. Target one of them again, and press the E key again. There's your sheathing. Now the roof is complete to the point where we need to add our tiles. So I'll put that down there for a second. Let's run back and get our tiles. Roof tiles. There's enough in here in this box for 40 roof sides. So one box is more than enough. So you stand on it. We're going to go to each side, okay? And we're going to press the E key. Boom. 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 That roof is done. Boy, the lighting makes the red look pink. But anyway, press the E key. Now all of our sides are done. However, you'll notice that the ridge beams and structure beams are not done. You want to cap those with tiles. So you highlight them, press the E key again. See what that did? Okay. We'll come over to this roof, press the E key again. Now our roof is done with the tiles. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our optional. This stuff is optional from this point on. We're going to go ahead and add some drain pipes. You could do these from the ground level. You'll notice the orange down here. Highlight it, press the E key. Boom. That roof has drains. Highlight this, press the E key. Boom. Now the roof is completely done. Looks kind of cool, right? So we can add a couple more things if we want to at this point. Adding all of this stuff to the house will make it sell for more. It'll give you a higher satisfaction level for the people they're going to end up bidding higher on your house if you buy that. So let's go ahead and add a chimney up here. None of this stuff does anything. It's just for looks. I'll add it. Press the R key, just like you're placing anything else. Boom. We'll place that there. Okay. We'll go back and we'll get the window. Again, these are not functional, and you can't have attics yet in this game. But for aesthetics, and I kind of think this looks like a cell, not a cell, a solar panel. So you could do that, make it look like solar panel, but I'll add that there. Okay, so now let's get rid of the scaffolding. We don't need that anymore. We'll put that over here. There's our completed roof. I really wish the developers would have done a better job explaining how the roof works and how the gutter system works. And The same thing with the patio or porch add-on. Um, Maybe I'll make a video that shows how to do that. But I made one for roofs because I was confused, and I noticed everybody else on YouTube is confused. People are on Reddit are confused. But that's exactly how it works. And again, this is a hip roof. And you can see where I extended the ridges out, how that ends up looking. If I didn't extend them, it would go to a point, okay? And it would just look kind of weird. But that's how you can add more than one roof, all right? If you just had a square house or rectangular house, it would be really easy because you just add one of those. But I like this. It looks a little bit more complicated. Now the gable end roof, again, that's going to leave triangle sides. Let me see if there's a house here with a gable roof on it. No. Anyway, that is a different type of roof, and I believe you could connect hip roofs to gable roofs. I don't know. Like, in other words, I could have added a gable end, which would leave a triangle here, a point here, and in the back it would have the same thing. Over here, it would have another triangle point. And then I think I could have connected the hip roof to that too. But I wanted to do the whole style house as hip roofs. And that's also because I wanted to connect two of them the way I designed the house. I didn't just make it rectangular. Um, this would look really cool if the door was over more and I had a porch out here too, maybe. But there you go, folks. Hopefully that helps you. If it does, please subscribe. Please bang that like button and peace.